Look at your neighbor, the one who waves while mowing his lawn, the one who borrowed your ladder last summer. Right now, he is a friend, but when the grid stays dark for 72 hours, he becomes a variable. When the temperature inside his house hits 40 degrees, he becomes a threat. Hunger and cold are the ultimate editors of human morality. They strip away the social contract until only the biological one remains. You need to understand the science of social collapse before you find yourself on the wrong side of a locked door. In a winter collapse, the physics of survival are brutal. Your body is a heat engine. It requires fuel. Your neighbor's body is the same. When the supply chains snap and the grocery shelves are picked clean in 4 hours, the clock starts. Normal people do not turn into monsters overnight. They turn into desperate parents first. Desperation is a far more dangerous catalyst than malice. It justifies everything. It makes the unthinkable logical method one. The resource audit. Most people have 3 days of food. They have 0 ways to heat a home without electricity. By day 4, the psychology changes. This is the point of critical transition. Gray man theory is your only shield here. If your chimney is the only one puffing smoke, you are a lighthouse for the desperate. Why this works. Humans are pattern-matching animals. In a crisis, they look for who is doing better than them. If you look comfortable, you have what they need. If they fail to get it, their survival instinct overrides their prefrontal cortex. Logic dies. Primitive drive takes the wheel. What happens if this fails? You become a target, not for criminals, but for a mob of formerly good people. A mob has no conscience. It only has a collective stomach. Method 2. The information blackout. Stop talking. Do not tell your neighbor about your generator. Do not mention your pantry. In a collapse, information is a liability. Social media is a death sentence. Every post about your prep is a digital breadcrumb for the hungry. Why this works. Silence creates a vacuum. If they do not know you have it, they cannot plan to take it. Your survival depends on being invisible while being present. What happens if this fails? You will hear a knock. It will start as a request for help. It will end as a demand. Refusal will be seen as an act of war. Method 3. Non-kinetic defense. Use the environment. Black ice is a weapon. A frozen garden hose can turn your porch into a skating rink. A slip in sub-zero temperatures is not an inconvenience. It is a debilitating injury. Why this works? It stops a threat without a confrontation. You are using the physics of friction and thermal transition to create a barrier. It requires no power and very little effort. What happens if this fails? You are forced into a direct physical encounter. In the cold, your fine motor skills are the first thing to go. You will miss your shot. You will drop your blade. Direct conflict is a coin flip where the loser dies of infection or exposure. Method 4. Thermal camouflage. You must hide your heat signature. Hang thick blankets 3 inches away from your windows. Create a dead airspace. This is basic thermodynamics. It keeps your heat in and your light signature out. Why this works? It prevents the glowing window effect. A lit window in a dark city is a dinner invitation. By managing your thermal leakage, you remain a shadow in a world of ghosts. What happens if this fails? Your house becomes the warmest spot on the block. The desperate can smell heat. They can see it in the way the snow melts off your roof while theirs stays piled high. Method 5. Psychological distancing. You must accept the reality of the situation before it happens. Most people die because they wait for help that isn't coming. They waste the first 48 hours in denial. You do not have that luxury. Why this works? Speed of action is the primary indicator of survival. While your neighbor is waiting for a news update, you are hardening your position. What happens if this fails? You get caught in the middle of the panic. Panic is a contagious disease with a 100% fatality rate in a winter storm. Method 6. Tactical altruism. If you must give small and give early. A single can of soup on day 2 might buy you a week of peace. It establishes you as a peer in the struggle, not a hoarder. Why this works? It is a low-cost investment in social stability. You are managing the threat by feeding its early stages. It is a calculated move to prevent escalation. What happens if this fails? You are seen as an infinite resource. Once you start giving, the expectation is that you will never stop. You have to know exactly when to close the door for the last time. The jungle is not coming. It is already here. It is just waiting for the lights to go out and the mercury to drop. Your neighbor is a good man, but he has a daughter who is shivery. He has a wife who hasn't eaten in 2 days. How far would you go to save your family? Now realize he is asking himself the exact same question while looking at your house. Stay cold, stay silent, stay alive.